And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Atreus. I'm coming at you live from the ATL, bringing you more pop culture news centering around gaming, movies, entertainment, TV shows, everything else in between. Today, we got to talk about the best Star Wars show that was ever made that nobody's fucking watching. Andor. Let's get into it after the drop.
What makes you think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine? Even if you call me up
All right, team, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit the like button, the red subscribe button if you are enjoying the content. And go into the description. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and everything else in between. Guys, we're fastly approaching 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate the support. If you're feeling generous, go down into the description, donate to Venmo or Cash App to contribute to the channel for better quality everything. Let's go ahead and get into the news. So what prompted me to make this video is I saw I want to say either yesterday or the day before, I saw an article that Paul Tassi had posted on Forbes about Andor and its viewership. And when I went to go and look back at it, because I wanted to make a video on it, I saw that he had blocked me. He definitely blocked me. I am proud. I'm not going to lie. But also, I can't find the article online nowhere. So I'm going to assume that Disney struck his ass down and made him delete that article. But it doesn't cover up the fact that nobody's watching this show. You can see plenty of articles here. Andor is what you wanted, which is this is the article that we're going to go into. Andor is what you wanted from Star Wars, so why aren't you watching? Andor is great, but not as popular as the other Star Wars shows. Andor's audience demand is lowest of all Star Wars shows. Why Andor is not a popular Star Wars series. I mean, it just goes on and on. And look at the quote right here, right? 3 weeks ago, Screen Rant goes, Andor's audience demand is the lowest of all Star Wars shows. Then it says Andor audience demand now near Mandalorian levels. That was 6 days ago. 19 hours ago, they say Andor is what you wanted from Star Wars, so why aren't you watching? Which one is it? Are people watching it or are they not? Anyway, let's get into it. So Andor is the exact project Star Wars fans have been asking for since Disney took over the franchise. So it is slightly bewildering that more people are not watching. First of all, that is fucking cap. Nobody asked for this shit. All right? Let's go ahead and keep it a buck. They only did this shit for diversity and inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked you for this shit. Since Andor began, viewership numbers and online clamor for the series have been at a low point when compared to other Star Wars TV shows. From shows like The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and The Book of Boba Fett, to the animated efforts of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, The Bad Batch, or The Tales of the Jedi, Andor simultaneously marks a high point regarding quality, but also an unfortunate low with audience numbers. From what I heard, it's boring. So, I don't know. This comes as a surprise for many reasons. Most notably, Andor is the type of Disney Star Wars show for which fans have supposedly been clamoring since Disney took ownership of the Lucasfilm and delivered the sequel trilogy to divisive fan reaction. Star Wars fans have begged for stories outside of the norm, moving away from the Star Wars like the Force, Sith, Jedi, and the Skywalkers. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are bigger Star Wars fans than I am. Is that something that y'all been asking for? Because I didn't know that. Because all of that shit sounds like more of what I actually want to see. Andor is that series, which takes a more grounded, mature political look at the Star Wars universe. That doesn't sound, and I'm not watching the show. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not watching it because I wasn't interested. I didn't see anything interesting about the show. That sounds like nothing I want to watch. Not from a Star Wars series. The Mandalorian, to me, both seasons, was peak Star Wars, bro. From quality, from storytelling. The Mandalorian, like, for somebody to, like, Andor has to be really fucking good for it to be better than The Mandalorian for me. And I'm not even a Star Wars guy like that. I only watched The Mandalorian because, I mean, Disney Plus was new. I had it. It was something to watch. And then, boom, fell in love with it. Despite all of this, the online hype and chatter surrounding the series has been at minimum. highlighting a significant problem among Star Wars as a whole, but more specifically the fan reaction to different projects. Perhaps the most frustrating thing about Andor's low viewership comes from seeing the sheer quality on display in Andor Season 1. Andor is easily one of the very best projects Disney has produced in the Star Wars universe, and arguably stretches beyond that. Many would argue that Andor is the best project in the Star Wars franchise since 1980, and and the release of The Empire Strikes Back. This argument certainly holds merit, with Andor having everything from interesting, compelling characters to fantastic writing, mature themes, and outstanding performances from its cast. All of this makes Andor something different from anything that has come before it, while still holding that intangible Star Wars feel, making it stand tall above the sea of Star Wars projects released since the franchise's inception. Why Andor hasn't been as popular? Okay. Despite Andor's evident quality, the fact remains that it simply is not as popular as the Star Wars shows that came before it, from The Mandalorian to the Book of Boba Fett, to name a few. Recent insights into the show's social media post, blogs, and search traffic, among other factors, found that Andor ranks significantly lower than its peers in terms of popularity. The most popular Star Wars show up to this point was one that began them all on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian Season 1. The reasons for Andor's more unpopular reaction could stem from a few things. Firstly, Andor is, for all intents and purposes, a spinoff of a spinoff. Well, that'll fucking do it. A bunch of characters we don't care about. The show centers around one of the many characters introduced in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which many thought unnecessary upon its initial announcement. Because of this, it is unlikely that many uninterested in Cassian Andor prequel even gave the series a chance, leading to its less than stellar audience numbers. Well, there you fucking go. You figured it out. Secondly, Andor is a much slower paced Star Wars show than the Mandalorian universe and Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example. Andor spends much more time delving deeper into its central characters and themes, often having entire episodes revolving around the many characters weaving through the political landscape of the universe at that time. Because of this, Star Wars fans looking for more conventional, high-octane action adventures of the franchise may find the show lacking. This also links to the lack of Easter eggs and tie-ins to wider Star Wars projects in Andor. Finally, the last element that contributes to Andor being less popular than Star Wars shows highlights a worrying problem with the franchise as a whole and its relationship with the fans. It is entirely different from anything before it, and therefore straying away from the established successful formula. The formula. Okay, so maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll go and watch the show. I'll give it a chance and see what's going on. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. I'm ready for Ahsoka. I've never seen the Clone Wars. Like, I've seen the prequel movie, but I haven't seen like the TV show, like the animated. I never seen that. And Star Wars fans got me hyped for Ahsoka. I don't even know who Ahsoka is. You know what I'm saying? So but Andor care about that bullshit. I'm telling y'all need to give me some of these characters and let me write. Because I had you some fire. Anyway, are you watching Andor? I doubt you are, but I just figured I'd ask. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Whew.
Let's go. Hey. Beat that thing down like you started attention, my baby. You had some plans with your man, just tell him to cancel, my baby. Slide to the crib, look like Dracula's mansion, my baby.